Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All praises be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. We here right now with another Wednesday wisdom for y'all family. My name is Captain Nathaniel Allah,
And I'm Captain Asher.
and welcome to Wednesday Wisdom, man. We're going into the wickedness of the church, the Catholic Church to be exact.
Right,
Because we have some new news that's going on in the earth that it's okay to have same-sex marriages,
right,
right? It's okay in the world to have same-sex marriages, but we already know according to the scriptures it's not okay. You know, Most High blew up a whole two cities, Sodom and Gomorrah, for that.
right,
So
man.
we definitely know emphatically that it's not okay. All right,
Come
go
on.
ahead, Nasha.
Come on, let's get the book of Colossians chapter 3, verse 17. It blew my mind that the fact that, that this world, continually, well, let's not say I'm surprised. We're surprised at it. We know that this world is gonna grow even more wicked every single day until Yahweh shall come back. And it's just, it kind of caught me by surprise, to be honest, that the Vatican would allow same-sex marriages. And we had to address this because it's supposed to be a church, right? It's supposed to be giving guidance to the people to give them guidance to get closer to the Lord. But we see that they're moving further away from the Lord. We see that they're causing nothing but division with the Lord and division between the people and the Lord. You know. So let me get Colossians chapter 2. Let me get Colossians chapter 3, verse 17 to open up with that. Come on. This is the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 17. Come on.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17. 1 second. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the power and the Father by him.
And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, so your words and your deeds, do all in the name of the Otto One Yahushua, Mashiach Yahushua. Everything we say and do, we should do it all in the name of a Mashiach Yahushua, and giving thanks unto him and to the Most High. So everything we do, we supposed to be doing for the Lord. Every decision we make, every law is passed, every single thing down to the biggest, to the most minute. We always supposed to deal with the Most High, no matter what. And we see that they're going contrary onto that. Let me get the book of Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Because we got people out here that's claiming that they know the Bible and that they claiming that they know God. But we have to be, as Israelites and as people that are coming out of this world, we supposed to be looking out for this one thing. Let's get that.
This is the book of Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Beware. Oh, read on, Salah.
After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
And not after Christ. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Through his ideals and his ideologies, his vain imagination, that it's okay to have quote unquote same-sex marriages. Man upon man, woman upon woman. Fire for that, And the fact that you got the Pope that's pushing this thing, he's supposed to be, quote unquote, he's supposed to be the one that's supposed to be the direct line or the official bishop between the people and the Lord. But he's going to allow same-sex marriages in the Vatican. Have all the priests allowing the marriage to happen. Knowing the scriptures, And this is why we go out into the streets. We go out into the highways and byways and compel or force our people to come in, because nothing is good out in this world. In this society, nothing is good. And you can see it. But our people still hold fast to the Roman Catholicism, to Christianity, to Muslim, to being a 5%er, all these things. And it's not to our benefit, but it is continually to be for our destruction through and through.
And people tend to forget that Christianity has its roots in Roman Catholicism. That's where
right
between a Christian and Christianity, the religion Christianity. A Christian is someone who follows Christ, right? As we see in Acts when they were first called Christians, right? Because that's just means a follower of Christ, right? But Christianity is different because it was birthed by the Roman Catholic Church, and of course it was given to our people, and our people put our own spin on it and made it our own thing. And all the denominations and all these different things came about too. So it's like a big tree. A big wicked tree, honestly.
Right, a big tree of wickedness. The wickedness of the church. Matter of fact, can you please pull that video up? Because I don't want to be a false bearer or a liar.
You know, Shalom, brother Richard Morantis and the mighty Captain Chiron. Shalom, family.
Because we have to bring this out to the forefront, man. Because our people still believe in Catholicism. Our people still believes in Christianity. But don't you see the wickedness that is happening now? They're allowing. He's basically allowing a sin into the congregation, a sin into the Vatican. This is the wickedness that we're fighting against. This is the evil that we're going against. Let's play the video out.
Go on.
Catholic priests can now bless same-sex couples. Pope Francis formally changed Vatican policy today, insisting people seeking God's love and mercy shouldn't be.
And look at that. Catholic priests blessed same-sex marriages. I thought the Most High was supposed to bless things.
Right.
How is the Catholic priest blessing things and establishing the blessings? All right, let me get Psalms 106 real quick.
Come on.
Get Psalms 106 real quick. And verse 3. Right? Because this is how this is how the blessings really come. Right?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 106. It's a lot in verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are they that keep judgment,
mm-hmm.
and he that doeth righteousness at all times.
Look at that, right? That's who's blessed, the people that are doing righteousness at all times, right? And we got to know what righteousness is too. So what is righteousness, right? What precept does the chat got for righteousness?
Right.
And for the process of time, we're going to get that. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our power, as he hath commanded us. So that's what righteousness is, right? And the person is blessed that's committing these righteous acts. So how is he the one that's giving blessings out? That doesn't make any sense, right? If you got nasty hot water on you, right? They got from the tap, call it holy water, right? And give you a blessing. Right, and they give you them dry crackers, right, and that dirty grape juice for communion, right? That's what the Roman Catholic Church does, man. It's crazy. But
let's continue the video out.
Come on.
Subject to an exhaustive moral analysis. However, those blessings can only be offered during rituals that do not resemble marriage. The document signed by the pontiff says marriage is a sacrament between a man and a woman.
Wait.
The document signed by the pontiff says marriage is a sacrament rituals that do not resemble marriage. The document signed be offered during rituals that do not resemble marriage. The document signed by the pontiff says marriage is a sacrament between a man and a woman.
Okay, Pope approves blessing for the same-sex couples if the rituals don't resemble marriage.
What? How does that make sense?
So I guess if the ceremony doesn't look
it
like
doesn't resemble a marriage,
male and a female ceremony, so that means they could just go in and get paper sign type thing. And I mean, how does that even look?
Right? How does that work? You're still either way. You're still marrying them off.
It's like he's trying to throw a rock and
Catholic priests.
He's trying to throw a rock and hiding his hand type of thing. Like,
right.
I'm gonna approve it, but as long as it's not this way. And then he ends
as long as y'all not trying to walk down the aisle and do all of that.
Yeah, because at the end, if you notice at the end here, it says
signed by the pontiff says marriage is a sacrament between a man and a woman.
So he mixed righteousness and wickedness together right there.
But even still, he even said out his mouth that it was an exhaustive moral. It was I'm paraphrasing, but it was an exhaustive moral value or something like that. Saying it's a tiresome thing. It's a thing that's just so played out and tiresome.
Let me get this video.
But while we're waiting, this is how he was supposed to react to this situation. Let me get the book of Mark chapter 6 and verse. Let me get the book of Mark chapter 10 and verse 6. Because if he claimed to be a man of God, he should have been standing 10 toes for the Lord. But we know that they're not going to stand 10 toes. That they will never stand 10 toes for the Lord.
Wow. This is the book of Mark chapter 10 verse 6. But from the beginning of the creation, the Most High made them male and female.
Male and female, read on.
For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. So then they are no more twain, but one flesh.
But one flesh. So to make this, so a man is supposed to, in the beginning, the Lord made man and a woman. He designed the man to leave his parents' household to get a wife. A woman, a wife. And they were supposed to be one flesh. Not a man and a man to be one flesh. Not a woman and a woman to be one flesh.
God, it can't be.
It was never supposed to be that way. The Most High ordained male and female to come together to be one flesh.
It's so
now
crazy.
You got
the Edomite Pope, like as a person who's establishing what's righteous and what's wicked, like over the scriptures, like
right.
It's crazy. That's why I have this. Let me get Psalms 58 real quick. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Right. So that's just in their spirit, man. That's just how they are. It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. From the womb, when before they can even speak of evil, they was already evil. Right. Wow, man. I just think it's amazing how somebody can change up the Most High's laws and what he said and what he wants and how he established things.
Right. This is crazy, y'all. This is very wild. Let me get the book. Let me get the book of Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. Let's continue on this path.
And Shalom, Captain Mazamor. Good to see you, family.
That it's hypocrisy. It's hypocritical to say, yeah, you could get married, but you can't do it under the celebration of marriage. You could come in and get your paper signed. You still signing them off to be married.
I guess they must have missed that story in Sodom and Gomorrah or something more. I don't know. It was crazy, man.
Hold on, man. I'm gonna get a precept before that.
Because Most High dropped a nuke on Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right. But we gotta But we all know, we all know for certain what this really is.
Mm-hmm.
This is a book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. Come, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So we know that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked at this time. That all they're gonna do is constantly persuade or convince our people to continue to keep doing wickedness. This is just another form of it. Do you know how many? I could just only imagine how many Jakes and Eves are gonna take fast to that. They're gonna be like, "Oh, it's okay. The Pope made it okay. If the Pope make it okay, so why can't I do it?" Nobody's gonna buck up, or nobody's gonna say, "Oh, hey, what y'all doing is wrong," except for us. We gonna go back to back. We gonna say y'all going off. Y'all doing wrong. We gonna get looked at as the monsters. But let's get that precept first, Doc.
What was the precept again, Cap?
Leviticus 20 and 13.
Okay, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind.
Hey, what?
If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
And this is plain as day.
So the person establishing that you can do these things, I want to know how much worse is going to happen to him.
Right. For perverted.
But I think all the other Catholic priests actually like this thing happening. You know why? That little boy love.
Yeah.
They want that to happen. They probably was sipping and cheering it on when they got back. Let's go.
Right.
Cuddling
each other.
Yeah.
Saying all praise.
That's crazy. Saying all praise.
Just imagine. They do that. They do that type of stuff behind closed doors.
I got a video for that too. This thing is crazy. I'll show you.
I was a complete and utter innocent, the only child of a very, very, very devout Catholic mom and dad.
Leslie Turner was 12 when he first arrived at St Aidan's Roman Catholic Grammar School in Sunderland. It was 1961.
Very, very soon after I started, that was when the abuse started.
12 years old, man. That's crazy. That's what I'm saying, man. These churches, man, this stuff is wild, man. It's the things that you don't see, man. But we know the angels are seeing all these things. That's why this place got rich. It's wild. I don't even want to finish that video. You already know what's going on.
And this the craziness. Our people still hold fast to these ideals, these philosophies, these false religions. They still hold on to this. All of this is going on within the church. All of this is going behind closed doors. That our people will still say, "To hell with that. I'm still gonna keep doing this."
Fine. Shalom, brother Don Israel, man. Yeah, and I believe our people hold fast to these things. You know, we already know it's a spirit. You know, that's why. I really see that they're just comfortable. You know, it doesn't shake up their quote unquote reality, so-called reality. You know, because when you go into the Bible and you start keeping the Sabbath day and these different things, and you're wearing a dress out in public now, and people asking you why you're always wearing dresses, it shakes up your reality.
Right.
You know, it changes things, and that makes them feel uncomfortable. But you got to be willing to be uncomfortable for the Most High.
Come on. Matter of fact, since you said that, let's get Matthew 5 verse 11. That's funny you say that, Art. Because you're gonna have to go through certain situations that's gonna be uncomfortable for the Most High. That it may seem kind of awkward in a situation, but you gotta stand on business. Standing on business. That's what you gotta be standing on. Standing on the Lord's business at all times.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 11.
Come on.
Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and
What?
persecute you. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you
Mm-hmm.
and persecute you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let me look up that word revile really fast. Give me a second. Because we don't really, that brother reviled me. We don't really use that. All right. It says King James Dictionary, revile, to abuse, attack with evil words. Right? And we've heard evil words all day being in this truth. Right? You in a cult, you this, you that, you doing
Right.
strange things now. Why I can't cook today? What's going on? Why you throwing the Christmas tree out the window? You know, all kind of things they could be speaking against you, man. But come, let me finish that. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and
Mm-hmm.
persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for
Mm-hmm.
my sake.
For his
That's
sake.
that's an uncomfortable feeling, man. When people talking crazy to you because you're keeping
Right.
the His commandments, right? But
They go,
you gotta feel comfortable being uncomfortable,
right.
right?
Like you were saying, you know, that's a very good point you made. We have to constantly be able to be uncomfortable in certain situations for the Most High. Like I'll even give I'll give a little testimony real quick. Like I know everybody got that little, you know, we're having a Christmas we're having a Christmas event, guys. Make sure you get your seats and stuff like that. I got that text. I said I can't make it. Everybody at my job, why you not coming? Why you not coming? Why you not coming? I said, hey, I got some things I got to go do at the school, man. I can't make it. I got some stuff I got to handle. And they kept being persistent on why should I come? And I said I just can't make it. I'm sorry. Cuz I got to do this. This is my obligation. Christmas ain't nothing to me. This is something. Reaching my people, doing this Wednesday wisdom every week to bring my people back into the fold and to edify my people so we get stronger in this truth and we're able to each one teach one so we could get up out of this wicked captivity. Because this is not our rest. Let me get the book of Acts chapter 17, verse 6. Because it looks crazy that we're up here going against what the church is allowing. We're gonna get looked at crazy. But we gotta stand 10 toes down, continually through and through. So let me get that book of Acts.
What are those strings on your pants?
Right.
Right. This is the book
It
of
reminds
Acts.
me to get.
Go ahead.
Come on. No, go ahead.
I usually say I just follow the Bible. It's in the Bible. I just do it, right? Because if you go too deep, they're gonna be like, this and asking too many questions.
I always tell them it reminds me just to keep the law, statute, commandments, and to be a good person.
Mm-hmm.
That cut it dead quick.
Right. This is the book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 6. And when they found him not, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, these that have turned the world upside down are come hither also.
So they were basically getting on Jason and his brethren because they were doing something. They were holding fast to something. Now let's jump up to verse 2. And we're gonna read on from there. What were they doing that was causing the city in an uproar? Why were they fighting against them? Let's read it.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 2. And Paul, as his manner was, went in unto them, and 3 Sabbath days reasoned with them out of the scriptures, opening and alleging that Christ must needs have suffered and risen again from the dead, and that this Hamashi and that this Yahushai, whom I preach unto you, is Hamashiach.
Now they were all in the uproar because they were reading the scriptures, opening and convincing the people that they got to stop doing what they're doing. They were telling these people that we got to get right because Christ is on the scene. And if we don't get right, we're gonna be finished. This is what they were doing, and this is what we are doing. We're gonna push back against the Catholicism, against Christianity. Just like my powerful captain, my powerful captain of 100, Captain Chiron. He said, I want to at least put a dent into Christianity. Now, that is something that I could follow behind. That is something I could go with. Because we're fighting this Goliath, and we have to continue to fight against this Goliath. We have to continue to bring out the word, because we got to get out the wickedness of this church, man, because it is no good for us. Now, let me get the book of let me see. Let me get the book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 12. Let me see. Let me get that. No, that's not what I want. That's too early. Salakia, family. Let me get Revelations 18 and verse 4. Salat. Have my precepts flipped.
It's all good.
Con, this is what we're supposed to be teaching our people. This is why we got to go do what we do every day. And we have to continually convince our people week in and week out. Every Friday night, every Shabbat, every Shabbat night, going to camp, doing flyer runs, teaching our people to get out of these religions because they are no good for us. Let's get that.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Do what?
Come out of her, my people.
Read on.
That ye be not partaker of her sins.
Good. Come out of her. That you will not be a partaker of this society's sins. That you ain't gonna be a part of that same church that's allowing man pon man, woman pon woman, confusion in the church. You need to get out of that because it's no good. It is not. When has Christianity ever benefited our people? When has Roman Catholicism ever helped our people?
Catholicism.
Are they going into the slums? Are they going into the hoods helping our people? What does same-sex marriage help anybody at all concerning our people? Where does it help us? Nowhere.
That's the opposite of reproducing and multiplying.
Right. That's just another form of a contraceptive. That's what it basically is. It's another form of a contraceptive towards our people because they don't want us to be fruitful and multiply. They want us to walk contrary onto the scriptures. And this is powerful. Let me get the book of Judah, chapter 5 and verse 20.
I don't know, a precept just came to my mind. I'm paraphrasing when Satan did speak to Eve, and he said, like, you shouldn't surely die. Right? Let her know that she shouldn't surely die. And that's the thing with Satan, man. Satan will make things look like it's okay. Make you feel like it's okay to do what you're doing. And it's not that serious. Right? So we just got to be aware of that, family, be mindful. Because a lot of people are looking at this LGBTQ QRS and all these different things as it's like it's okay because that's what they're doing, that's their life, you know. And there's no what's the word, there's no separating evil from good. Like if you keep doing that, if you keep going with that it's okay mentality, you eventually will have a whole like muddied conglomerate of evil and wicked, and what's considered evil and what's considered good. Because people gonna think, oh, that's not that serious, and eventually it's gonna be full on everybody out here homosexuals, and it's still not gonna be that serious because it's like a slow programming that they trying to put on our people and our children, man. Because the children are gonna be the most affected by this thing. Like when our children get really older and all that, it's gonna be crazy. I can only imagine, man. But I just wanted to go into that where it says, come out of her, my people, for the people that don't know what that her is, right? let me read up real quick. Revelation 18:3. For all the nations, let me start at verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen and become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right? That Babylon the Great, we know that is America, right? The Western Hemisphere, right? It could be a little bit of South. It could be a little bit of South America as well. But when you read this, verse 8, verse 3, right, even further tells us that it's talking about America. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, right? And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, right? Now you see the Chinaman, he ain't wearing his ancient garments that he used to wear. You know those Chinese garments they usually have? They all wearing suits now, right? You see, everybody has drunken of the wine of Babylon, right? Everybody's into it now. You know, everybody's doing the homosexual thing. You got people in the Caribbean doing this stuff now, right? Everybody's drunken of that wine, right? For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, right? All the nations are in bed with America, right? And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, right? We always exporting. We're always exporting and importing. We're never building things here. All the shoes, all the clothes, the textiles are all coming to America. The merchants have waxed rich off of America, right? That's why you see all these companies when they outsource these things, right? And now it's saying, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, right? So come out of that wine, get out of that drunkenness from that wine, right? Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. So when you see that Catholic priest blessing homosexual marriages, that's the sins reaching on to heaven, man. Right? That's a part of that. Right? And there's going to be more to come. So, Con, go ahead, Kip.
Come, but let's get that Judith 5 and let's start at 5 and verse 1 to get context. And we'll get 5 and verse 20. Because my point in bringing out this scripture is that they're constantly trying to keep us in a state of sin. And if they constantly keep us in a state of sin, they will continually to ride the high places of the earth. Just like in Isaiah 58 verse 13, if we turn away from our own pleasures, our own distractions, and we really start dwelling with the Most High and calling the Most High our joy, our happiness, our peace, then we'll start riding the high places. But we know through wisdom, if we don't turn and we continue to dwell in wickedness, they're going to ride the high places. And this is an account of a person of another nation was given information about us to Holofernes. So let's get that.
It's the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 1. Then was it declared to Holofernes, the chief captain of the army Assur, that the children of Israel had prepared for war and had shut up the passages of the hill country and had fortified all the tops of the high hills and had laid impediments in the Champagne countries.
Now go to first. Let's go to verse 5. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Then said Achior. I said Achior. I think that's how you said. Then said Achior. These names are something serious. The captain of all the sons of Ammon, let my lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people, which dwelleth near thee, and inhabiteth the hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of my mouth of thy servant.
Now jump down to verse 20. But now Acquire was giving information because Holofernes wanted to know who are these people? What are they doing up here? Why are they prepared to fight against me? And a choir was going to give him the information of what was going on. Why were they about to fight? And were fighting so rebelliously and so valiantly against him. Now let's go to verse 20.
Gone. Verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Keep going.
If there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
So a choir was telling this man, if they have been in sin, we will be able to destroy them easily. But if they are keeping the law, statute, commandments, we need to leave right now, because we're gonna get violated by the Most High, and we're gonna be a reproach. Everybody gonna make us a laughing stock. And after he said these words, they plotted to kill this man because he made the army nervous. He took away their fighting spirit because they didn't know if Israel was keeping the law, statute, commandments or not, but they actually were. And they were getting the Holofernes was given into the hand of the Israelites because they were keeping the commandments. This is why we are convincing our people to get right, because if we stop sinning, we can finally have peace. We could finally win. We could finally have a one-up against these other nations. But as long as we continue to dwell with these other nations, as long as we continue to dwell with the wickedness of the church, the Lord will continue to have a despiteful, a angry disposition against us through and through. So this is why I'm bringing this class out. This is why I'm letting you know that we need to come out of this wicked captivity, that we need to be transformed. Let's get the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. Because we have to change. We have to see these things. We have to see the wickedness, and we have to change. We have to get out of it. We have to remove ourselves from the sin, because we don't want to be bound or caught up in the wicked around that wickedness. So let's get the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 2.
This is the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
Come on. But now I got a question. Now I got a question for the comment section. Where can we find that we have proof that is good and acceptable, perfect, the will of God? What do we know that is perfect? What is perfection according to the Most High? Because if it said we're supposed to be renewing our minds, being perfect, good and acceptable, the will of God. Now, what is that? Come on, for the process of time, we'll get it. Let's go to Psalms. Come on. This is the book of Psalms chapter 119, verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. We know that the law is the truth, and the law is good, and the law is just and acceptable. We know that we have to have our minds geared towards the law at all times. So we can be found perfect in the Lord, and we could be found blameless. So we don't get caught up or hemmed up by this world when Yahushua is coming back to destroy it.
Come on, I got another precept.
Come on.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 19, verse 7.
Come.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. Right? So the Most High's idea of perfection is us keeping the law, right? Not the world's idea of perfection. So the way to make yourself perfect in the eyes of the Lord, right? Remember I said in the eyes of the Lord, the way to make yourself perfect in the eyes of the Lord is keeping his law, statute, and commandments to the best of your abilities.
Come on, now let's get that precept Mosmore just dropped. Powerful captain of 10, Mosmore. Let's get that precept.
Go on.
And Shalom family, you know, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party, man. Come on. I'm gonna get that. Salat. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High. It is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. This is how we're supposed to move. This is how we're supposed to operate. The scriptures of the Most High is given to us for salah, for inspiration, for profitable for doctrine, for reproof or correction, for us to change our ways, to get us right. Because if we don't hold to a certain standard, we're gonna be caught up and hemmed up. If we don't correct each other, we are going to continually fall into chaos. We're going to keep looking at each other as if we're enemies or as quote unquote ops. We're going to continually to shoot each other down in the street. We're going to continually to whore out our women. We're going to continually to perpetuate being baby mamas and baby daddies, when the scriptures say otherwise. When we're not supposed to be caking up with man and woman on woman. We shouldn't be a part of the alphabet crew. We should be separating ourselves, making ourselves holy unto the Most High, which is separate. I'm gonna get the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 22.
Come on, I got you.
Come on, let me get the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 22.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers, but be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Come on, we gotta be doers of the word, not just hearers. We can't just be hearing all these precepts that's coming out on the wisdom and not taking it down and using the wisdom, applying it to our lives. All this fruit that's falling from the tree, and you don't want to pick it up. You don't want to use it. You don't want to get the benefits of the nutrients of the fruit. Come on, man. We gotta change. We gotta get up out of this captivity, get up out of this wicked mindset, and get up out of these wicked churches, man. These churches is no good for our people. Believing in a pope who's supposed to be a man of God, a quote unquote righteous man of God, to finally allow same-sex marriages to be brought forth into the congregation. Oh, it don't have to be a marriage, man. You can't have the marriage ceremony, but we're gonna sign the papers. At the end of the day, you're still signing a contract that was supposed to be unto God, and you profaning it. You make it something profane, trying to be something righteous, but it's wicked. We know that it's wicked. So I'm convincing my people to get up out of this wicked captivity. Let's get the book of 2 Corinthians 6 and verse 17. These scriptures is for our benefit and not for our hindrance.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 17.
Let's get 12. Salah.
Verse 12.
Salah, let's get verse 12.
Come. Ye are not straightened in us, but ye are straightened in your own bowels. So that's what you wanted?
No, la. 1 second. Slot. Oh, 2 Corinthians 6 and verse 17. Slot.
You said get verse 12. That's why.
Come.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate. And touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
Come. It say, wherefore come out from among them. We gotta come out of these wicked people, man. We gotta come up out of these heathens. And be ye separate.
You gotta leave them mentally, man. That's all it
is.
You gotta leave their ways mentally. The ways of Christmas, right? The ways of eating unclean food. Right, the ways of all these these wicked holidays, right? We got to come from that mentally, right? Even the other day, if you sing a Christmas song, it may still get stuck in your head. That spirit is still there, right? That chestnut's roasting on an open fire.
Oh man,
that's the thing ringing off in our people's ear, man.
What? That's a hymn up. That one song is a hymn up.
Right, boys come in, right? We got to come from that, man. Right, and start making our truth music, make our music shine brighter than the music that this world has.
Right, man. Come on, and let's get the book of Sirach chapter 15 verse 20, because what this Pope did was basically saying, I'm gonna give man license to sin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna allow them to do what they want to do, how they feel. But let's see what God says about that. Let's get the book of Sirach chapter 15, verse 20.
This is the book of Sirach chapter 15 and verse 20. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given any man license to sin.
And the Lord gave no man license to sin. When did the Pope ever have charge? When did the Pope ever have charge to declare that it's okay for same-sex marriages? That it's okay for whoremongers to continue to be whoremongers and come into the congregation? When did they get put into position to allow themselves to say, "Hey, we're gonna establish the law through what we think is right"? Who gave them that authority? No one did. Not even the Most High. He said he gave no man license to sin. So we should not. So they should. The Vatican should have been pushing that we will not be doing this. But we know that they are nothing but wicked fools. They will continually to keep doing wicked, and they will continue to try to perpetuate us to keep doing wickedness. Because as long as we sin, they keep winning. But we got to do the contrary. We got to start being righteous so we start winning. So let me get the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 12.
Come on. This is the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 12.
Come on.
Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should not obey it in the lust thereof.
Come on. Keep reading.
Come on. Neither yield ye your members, neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto the Most High, as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto the Most High.
Come on. This is what they should have been saying in the church. This is what we have to push. Since they're not going to do it, since they're not going to stand up, since they're not going to be persecuted for the Lord's sake, we will do it. We will take that charge and we will let our people know about this. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal bodies. Don't let sin have dominion over you. Matter of fact, let's continue. Let's go to verse 14.
Come, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace.
Come. For we
What
are under
then?
grace. Read
Right?
on.
And for all the Christians out there, like, woo, clapping their hands right now.
Right.
He says, for ye are not under the law, but under grace. That means that you're not getting put to death. The judgment is not up to the people that were the judges at that time, which were the Pharisees, to put you to death after Christ sacrificed himself for us. Right? That's what brought us under grace now. We're not getting put to death immediately after breaking the Most High's commandments, right? Or going off, right? So that's what that means. You're not under the law, right?
Come on, read on.
Verse 15. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace?
Read
God
on.
forbid.
God forbid. So that means even though we are under the law of grace, that we should continually to keep doing these law, statute, commandments. That we should allow sin to have dominion over our bodies. That we should be subject under sin. We should be breaking away from sin, fighting sin, putting RKO in sin, Batista bomb in sin. We should be beating up sin every day, putting that old man to rest, killing the mortal body, putting on that new flesh, renewing of the mind. We know we have to get up out of this wickedness. We got to get up out of the wickedness of the church. And matter of fact, here's what I want everybody to do. Look up on your contacts that one Christian person that claims to be a devout Christian and send them this video. Send them this video and see how they react to it. Ask them, is it a righteous thing for the Pope to allow same-sex marriages be into the Vatican? Even though he doesn't want the ceremony, but he's willing to sign the papers, the contract of God on those papers to make them one flesh. Ask them that. I challenge everybody that's on the live tonight. I challenge you. Now I digress. Back to the scriptures. Let's get the book of Matthew. Let's get the book. Well, come on. Let's get the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13 to end out with it.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13.
Come on. Before we start, Salah, I just wanted to say this. I want to give all praises and honor to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for surely shines mercy endure forever. This class was fully meant from our people to get awareness of the wickedness of the church. For people that are probably new watching the live, and the people that are veterans still watching this live, to see that we have to constantly expose or constantly shed a light on the wickedness of these churches and the wickedness of all these false doctrinal religions. We have to continually to keep doing this day in and day out so we can get our people out the matrix. That we could give our people the real nutrients or the real food of the scriptures. Because these churches are not teaching our people. These churches are not giving us the way of life. These churches are not doing no good for our people whatsoever. So we gotta get up out these churches, man. And this should be one of those examples that should be the breaking point to say, man, to hell with the Christian church, to hell with Catholicism. I'm getting the hell up out of here. This is no good for me. Because if you have children, imagine you got children and they're allowing this. Now you have to explain this wicked foolishness to your children.
Right. You go up in the church, you sit down in the pulpit, and to the left of you a tranny, and to the right of you is two lesbians.
At that moment, I know spiritually for me, I'm looking at that. I'm looking to my left and to my right, and I say, I gotta get the hell up on out of here. Because this is no good for me.
And that's coming to a church near you.
Right.
Coming
to the
soon.
nearest church near you, man. And it's crazy how they allow effeminate men and over-masculated women in the church. Women wearing pants, the men trying to wear the skirts in the church. You got the choir director is the man being effeminate, waving his arms back and forth. It should be the woman's job, to be honest. It should be allowed the woman to be doing that because most women know how to sing. They got a good ear for that. You know what I'm saying? But we have to change. We have to get up out of this. This is to show you the wickedness. You know, so let's end out the class with Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 because we got to know what is the duty of man? What is man's whole purpose on this earth? Let's see.
Come. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Come on. We have to fear God and keep the commandments. This is the whole duty of what we should be doing. This is the duty of what the quote-unquote Pope was supposed to be doing. But he's doing contrary. He's perverting the laws. What he's doing, he is sending the sheep down to destruction. That's what he's doing. I don't care about the other nations. I care about my people that are in those churches and in those religions. He is leading the sheep astray, our people astray, and is furtherly continually destroying our people. But we have to get right. Everybody that's on the live have to spiritually get right. Spiritually go through these, got to physically go through these scriptures and spiritually get right so we can teach our people the law, statute, commandments, so we can get the hell up and out of America. Because I know I'm tired of it. I know my brother, Captain Nathaniel is tired of this wicked captivity. And I know everybody else on the live is sick and tired of this wicked captivity, man. So we got to each one teach one, put in the work, and really go through these scriptures and study to show thyself approved every day. So when the time comes of if somebody ever asks you, what are those things on your pants, you can properly edify them. With the proper application of knowledge, you can teach our people that they are the real Jews and they have to keep the law, statute, commandments. And if we keep those commandments, we can get out, that we can be kings on the earth, that we can be princesses on the earth, and we can finally have peace. And with that, I say shalom, and continue to keep fighting and to continue to keep going through this, do these works and continue to go through the scriptures day in and day out and continue to keep fighting. And I say shalom. Hallelujah.
And we're gonna end it off with the mighty Captain Mazamwar. You know where we gotta stay in, and we gotta move in.
Spirit.
Shalom, family.
All praise to the Most High. Know the vibes. Yeah. Gotta move in the spirit. 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 Yeah. The devil want all of me. Yes, I know that the demons be calling me, but I'm keeping my faith in the Most High God. I gotta stick to his policies, laws and commandments, rehearsing, cause I cannot stand to be hurt. Yeah, how was they teaching us all of these lessons? Yeah, that was his plan with the curses. That's facts. Now it's time to stand bold in the truth. He gave me the vision, I go to the booth. I move for precision, I stick to the mission. My people don't see it, we show them the proof. Written in Deuteronomy. Look at the way that we live and fulfilling the prophecy. We just been down bad, there's a lot to see. Pray that I'm saving souls when he talk to me, yeah. I can't let this flesh get control of me. It's gonna block the blessings he's been showing me. I stay in the scriptures and move in the spirit. And I pray that you feel it, yeah.
Gotta move in the spirit. Gotta move in the spirit.
I pray that you feel it.
Gotta move in the spirit. 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 Gotta move in the spirit.
Okay. Whole world going crazy. Can't be caught slipping, I be in these scripts for safety. I'm protected from evil, as long as I'm keeping commandments, I know he looks out for me. Gotta wake up the people, show them the signs in the scriptures, cause that's what they're about to see. Last days, put my faith in the most high, read the Bible from the front to the back page, I cannot backtrace. It's a marathon, gotta keep my feet on the move, making sure I ain't coming in last place. Gotta move with a purpose, bringing Jacob to the truth, cause it's urgent. We don't got long, so it's time to get it right now. Demons want smoke, better know it's on sight now. I can't let this flesh get control of me. It's gonna block the blessings he's been showing me. I stay in the scriptures and move in the spirit. And I pray that you feel it.
Gotta move in the spirit. 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 Gotta move in the